All right. And I know you niggas gonna love this topic because you know all you niggas think about is pussy. But black men, we really have mating and nature fucked up. Because we always like to complain, you know, these black females ain't doing this, they ain't doing that. You know what I mean? They're always out of pocket, which they are. They are out of pocket. But if black men took a better understanding to how this shit actually works, I'm telling you, a lot of this shit will go out the window. A lot of this shit will go out the window. All right. So when it comes to mating, a lot of us have the game fucked up. And we want to be mad at women for not choosing the right man, right? Especially in the black community. There's this thing when it comes to women not choosing the right man, and they are always, you know, they when they're used up, then they want to get a man for resources and things like that. Well, you know, this is why I said, and I got a lot of flack for this. I got a lot of flack for this. When I said you educated lames, for lack of better terms, I really hate using that term. All right, but for lack of better terms, you educated lames, you middle class black men, you black men who have some sort of uh accreditations, degrees, trades, you black men who have a standing in this society. Until we achieve that power as a group, and that group powers actually manifests, until we do that, when it comes to mating, a lot of you niggas are going to have to get more aggressive. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. A lot of you black men who have made it and you're wondering why these females ain't, why they ain't fucking with you. A lot of you guys are going to have to get more aggressive. I'm sorry. Because is it the black female's fault for not choosing a better mate for her? Of course it is, because she's in power of her womb. But when I'm about to lay down on you guys are going to understand that females aren't really. You can't really expect much from them. You can't really. We expect too much from females. The truth is, females are going to follow power and aggressiveness. That's just what it is. That's how it works. I didn't make this shit up. And women are not really capable. They're not really capable of long-term thinking like that. They're not really capable of choosing correct partners and mates. They're not. They're not smart enough to do that. It's, you know, a woman's brain is 10% smaller than a male's brain on average because they're not smart creatures. Women are nature's vessels. They are nature's incubators. They're not meant to be intelligent. They're meant to be incubators for future offspring. So when we ask them to do logical things such as choose a correct mate, well, that should be the job of other men. And a big reason why we haven't established a system where there's arranged marriages and we have to force the females to make better decisions is because black men have not built the power structure. We have not built the power structure that demands the submission of a female group. I'm sorry, we haven't. We haven't. Because in nature, the female species is loyal to the alpha who runs the group, who runs the pride, who has everything in order, who protects that pride. And sad to say, us as black men, we have not provided that infrastructure that provides the quote unquote protection, that provides the economic resources. We have not provided that as a group of black men. See, a lot of us black men, we're going to get our passports and things. I'm not against none of that. I'm not against getting the passports or any of that shit. Because I know these bitches ain't shit. I know this. You ain't got to tell me that. But I'm going to truly hold these bitches accountable. I'm going to truly hold them accountable after us as black men have built some sort of infrastructure, built some sort of economy where we have some sort of investment into this economy on a proportional basis, meaning black men make up 6% of the population. Well, at least let's own 6% of the wealth or 6% of the infrastructure, 6% in STEM. When black men have established ourselves as a a somebody in the pecking order, when we have established ourselves as an infrastructure and we have something to offer, if these hoes still want to act up after that, then that's when I'm already like, fuck these hoes. But us as black men, we have a job to do. And until we finish our part of the job, I can only expect these females to behave within a certain way. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. They are still held accountable. This is not to say that. I'm not holding them accountable. Y'all know how I get down over here. These bitches ain't shit. And I really don't like bitches. But the truth is, us as black men have not performed to our duty when it comes to nature. We have not offered an alternative to the structure at hand. See, what you got to give the Arab man and the Asian man and the Indian man and the Arab men in this country right here, they have established their own communities with their own hierarchy, their own patriarchy. You guys don't even know where these Arabs live. Y'all see these Asian people with a Chinese restaurant, you don't even know where the fuck they live. You see these Arabs out here at the gas station, your ass don't even know where the fuck they live. Because they have their own hierarchy and their own structure hidden away where everything's protected. And if you want to penetrate that shit, you're going to have to go through a lot of layers. Okay? Why is those layers that are established by men have not been established by black men? Black men don't have the communities. We don't have the land, the resources. These are things that you're supposed to do without a bitch. All right? And when you don't have this infrastructure, which as a man you're supposed to have, because this is your natural right, those women in your species literally have nothing to run to for protection. They have nothing. So if they have nothing, the females is actually out here running wild. Just like in the wild, we have what they call nomads. We have groups of female lions running off in the wild with no protection, nothing. So of course they're gonna get their ass killed. Of course they're not gonna know how to hunt consistently. Of course they don't know how to choose the mates because there's no mates there. So I do gotta put that in perspective. Us as black men have not fulfilled our natural duty when it comes to mating because we have not provided the infrastructure for proper mating to take place, which would mean we choose the mates for the females, arranged marriages and things like that. You had to set that shit up, man. You know what I'm saying? And us as black men, you got to realize you're not entitled to well-behaved women unless you create something for these well-behaved women to be protected in. And us as black men have literally failed to do that. We don't own anything in this country. We don't own any land. So with that out the way, you automatically have to assume that the females are going to be acting buck wild. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of you guys don't like to hear this type of shit because it puts you on the hot seat, but it's just what it is. Now somebody in the chat said female lions are better equipped for hunting males protected pride. Well, like I said, I used to think that too. But after watching these nature videos for the past couple of weeks, I'll tell you right now, the females might do the hunting, but they're not better at hunting than the males. They are not whatsoever. But when it comes to mating, so that's rule number one. We got to understand that us as men have not provided the infrastructure to protect. Shout out Rollo Show for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna shout you out later on. And keep that shit coming, man. All this incredible game. Keep them super chats coming. But anyway, like I was saying, you have not provided the space and the protection for a woman to behave. Okay? That's just what it is. And until we do that, until we get our piece of the pie in this country, we can only expect so much from females. Now, should we expect more than what they're offering now? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because these bitches are way out of course. But let's fulfill our part of the contract in regards to nature and then we should take the battle up from there. And this is why I don't be complaining about bitches like that. Because one, I get them whenever I want to. But two, I understand that us as black men have not fulfilled our natural duty. We just haven't. We operate on a separate angle, on a separatist angle. So you got the black men who say, let's get our passports, say fuck the community. I say fuck the community too. I say we got to start over. But I'm not saying, but a lot of people are saying, oh, fuck the community, let's go because of the women. When the women are only, they're about 40 to 50% of the problem. The other 50% is your goofy ass because you have not provided the infrastructure for your harem, for your pride to relax. It's not all on somebody. So you niggas talking about get the passports and let's go. I'm not against y'all. Don't get it twisted. I'm not against y'all doing that. But just understand that when you do that, you know what I'm saying? It's not because of the females, because you have not provided the infrastructure of the, and you have not provided the protection necessary for a well-behaved bitch. And we haven't done that on a massive level. Now after that part, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of you guys want to get to the, well, these bitches be acting, I know they act up, nigga, but I had to put you guys on the hot seat first. Now on to mating as far as the actual act. Us as black men, we expect way too much from females. All right. The female sex is literally an incubator. It is an incubator for nature, meaning that she has one purpose, and that is to bring in the brand new offspring through her pussy. A lot of us are looking towards females for honesty, integrity. We're looking to females for for logical thinking. But if we look at nature, you will see that's just not the case. See, even in nature, women are opportunistic. They practice hypergamy. And at the end of the day, when it comes to mating, females don't necessarily look at the men for characteristics. There's no characteristics in nature. What it is either you're alpha or you're not. And what the female sex will do is they don't give a fuck whose seed they take. Let me say that again. Females do not give a fuck whose nut is inside of them, as long as they are fulfilling their biological imperative. And what is their biological imperative? To get fucked and to have kids. They don't give a fuck who it's from. Well, they give a fuck. They want it from the most alpha person they can have in there. But at the end of the day, when you study these gorilla prides and these lion prides, you will see that it does not matter. As long as the nigga's an alpha, she don't give a fuck whose dick it is, because at the end of the day, even in nature, the male is looked at as a utility from the female. She does not give a fuck about the inner workings of that male. No, she does not give a fuck about the characteristics. She don't give a fuck about integrity. She is there to fulfill her biological imperative, which nature has given her, which is to get fucked and to have babies and to nurture those babies, to build a nest for those babies. That's it. So when you correlate this with humanity, you will understand that women are not necessarily here for logical reasons and long-term thinking. They're just here to get fucked and to have kids by the highest quality mate that they can possibly find. And how do they find the highest quality mate? Well, in nature, it's the nigga who's running the pride. It's the nigga who has everything in order. Not only that, it is the strongest nigga, the most brutal nigga. All right, this is what qualifies you as a mate. And this is why, you know, you want to bring this down to black females. They choose the most quote unquote most aggressive or the most quote unquote most strongest nigga. They look at purely physical. They look at purely physical because that's within their nature to do that. Except these hoes are so stupid, they're forgetting that it's two sides to nature. There is the physical side when it comes to strength, and there's also the providing side. See, in nature, The alpha is the one who is not only the strongest, but also the provider, which means he provides with his protection. But black females don't think that far. See, they're not even practicing nature themselves. They're only going after one side. But they're still practicing nature because black females don't necessarily have a concept of being provided for until it's too late. But even in nature, these young females who are in heat all the time, even they know that the nigga who is the strongest and the one who provides the most, that combination is the best suited for mating. So these females are not thinking about how to make the pride better, or how to build up a pride, or how to acquire land. And no, that's the man's job. They're just thinking about one thing: getting fucked, breeding, and taking care of the young. So we're looking to women as black people. We're looking towards women for too much. We're asking them for too much. A lot of you guys want to talk about, I want to build with women. Oh, I got to find my queen so we can build this empire with. No, they're not meant for that. And this is why you guys keep losing, because you guys keep investing in these bitches when literally they're not. They're just vessels. They are vessels. They are incubators for future offspring. That's it. That's why they think the way they do. That's why they don't give a fuck who nuts in them. That's why he's on Maury and all this other shit. They don't even know who the daddy is. They don't give a fuck. Nature's telling them to do one thing: to get fucked and to have kids. There's nothing special about you, nigga. There's nothing special about your dick. They are just looking to fulfill the biological imperative, and your biological imperative and her biological imperative is two different agendas. Her biological imperative involves her body and being on downtime for 9 months, and then it involves her having a nest for that shit. Your biological imperative is to get that nut out the way, get back to attaining more resources. See, there's two different forks in the road. And this is why you guys are always being in arguments. This is why when a man and a woman lives together, there's always going to be arguments. There's always going to be arguments. Now, I live with my brother now. We haven't argued. I don't think we've argued once since we moved in together. But I know you niggas out there living with females, there's always going to be an argument because you guys have two different agendas. You guys have two different goals. She wants the comfort for her nesting. Shout out to BGS Ibmore for bringing that up to the forefront. She's trying to nest. You're trying to look at you're not worried about comfort. You're trying to worry about the bills, more money, more resources. She's worried about comfort, and she wants it from you. She don't give a fuck how you get it. But you guys have to understand, Briefo's law, and it's right in front of you, is the female, not the male, determines the conditions of the animal family. Where the female can derive no benefit from association with the male, no such association takes place. From Robert Briefow, from the book The Mothers, Volume 1, page 191. Shout out to BGS Ibmore once again, because BGS Ibmore brought up that book, The Mothers, on the last panel. You know, and speaking real quick, side note, when it comes to BGS Ibmore, BGS Ibmore is one of the most intelligent motherfuckers to ever come on his YouTube shit. All right, let's make that known right now. I just think he's a little bit old school in his way of thinking, but I would never take nothing away from the knowledge that he brought you dumbass niggas. Even though I don't believe in that white people victimhood shit he be talking about, and even when it comes to the future, I'm not necessarily in line with what he believes is going to happen. But when it comes to the knowledge and the information, you know, there's nothing that can be taken away from that man, from BGS. I think he blessed black people. I don't know if he's still on YouTube or not, but so shout out to BGS real quick. All right, but when it comes to mating, when it comes to this shit, she must derive a benefit from the male. And this goes back to us black men not fulfilling our duty. All right, there's two sides to this. See, not only do black females have a fucked up when it comes to mating, because they're only looking for one half of the equation, which is the brute strength, But you black men, you also have a fucked up when it comes to mating because you're only coming with one half as well. You're coming with the provider role. So if the educated black men who are complaining about black females, they're coming with the provider role, but they're lacking on the alpha, the strength, the inner strength. The females, they're looking for the strength, but they don't understand the providing role. This is when it comes to us as black men to fulfill our duty, and we must encompass both sectors. All right, being a provider is not enough, my niggas. This is why I told you guys that that's only half the battle. It's easy to get a good job, you can provide, but a lot of you niggas are fucking lames. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. You are lames. And that lame shit does not get you nothing, especially when it comes to females. I'm sorry. You can't just say, "Oh, I got this money, I got this good job." What else? No, nigga, you still have to have some sort of you still have to have some sort of brute strength about you. It's just what it is. Because if you don't have that, then you're not fulfilling your duty when it comes to nature. And then we always want to talk about, well, other races of men, they just provide and that's it. They don't have to have no swag or nothing. No, that's so false. Some other natures of men, those other groups of men, first of all, they have a whole infrastructure to protect the bitch. So it's within those bitches' best interest to get in line, or else they're going to be kicked out the infrastructure. And then on top of that, we need to stop calling these other men of other races lame. Like they ain't got no swag. like we look at these men who got these bad bitches of other races who might be fat or ugly, and we keep forgetting, like, bro, like time has passed. You don't know who that nigga was 10 years ago. You don't know who that nigga was 20 years ago when he first met that bitch. You know what I mean? So it's two sides to this when it comes to mating. You black men, you educated black men, you're gonna have to get more aggressive, man. You're gonna have to get more aggressive. Otherwise, every bitch is gonna use you. I don't care if you get that passport, you go overseas, you get another bitch. If you come with that same demeanor, she gonna take advantage of your ass too. So it's like the niggas who got the quote unquote swag or the strength, the physical strength, they can't provide. Then the niggas who can provide, they ain't got no fucking strength or swag. It's like everybody's missing the element. And then the bitches, they don't understand that they gotta look for both instead of just one. See, we got the whole fucking mating game fucked up because we're not using nature as the case study, and we're missing out on a lot. So we got work to do, black men. It's not all about these hoes. It's not all about these hoes fucking up, man. We got to do our part as well when it comes to fulfilling our natural duty, and then we can get on other people's case. You know, and what else I want to touch on? Another thing that you black men seem to have a problem understanding when it comes to mating is that it is a competition. You know, a lot of you guys think that, you know, I can just go to school, get this degree, or I can go get this trade, and automatically I'm entitled to a bad bitch. No. Unless you're in a system of arranged marriages, which we are not, you're not entitled to shit. And you're going to have to get out here and compete for what you want. I know bitches just gonna fall in your lap and just, hey, let me suck your dick. No, you have to compete for what you want. And black men, majority of us, want to complain about how the top 10% or the top 20% get the bitches, but you're not trying to be the top 10% or the top 20%. Like if you love or like black women or whatever the fuck, and you see what they go after, why are you not trying to compete if you want some of the action? In order to compete, you're going to have to adapt and get into the game. That is part of nature. And you know, you're gonna have to find your niche. Every species has a different way to do mating calls. So you got the peacocks who put their fucking tails out with all different colors to entice the females. You got the spiders who might jangle their legs or some on the leaf or whatever the fuck. What is your mating call, nigga? If your mating call is complaining about bitches and saying they only go after niggas with swag, well, you're not going to get no ass. I'm sorry. You're either going to compete or you're going to die. Because see, a lot of you niggas, if we were living in strictly nature, a lot of you niggas would be dead. And like I said earlier, you better be lucky you were born a human, because in nature, a lot of these animals, they cannot masturbate. They can't beat their dick up. They can't self-pleasure themselves. And even if they can, they most likely have no concept of it. For the most part. They either have to fuck or they're not busting a nut. This is how lucky a lot of you niggas are, because if we did not have the capabilities to masturbate, a lot of you niggas would be fucked. A lot of you niggas would be walking around with blue balls forever, because you guys don't understand that mating is a privilege. It is. It's a privilege. You know, and in order for you to maximize that privilege, you have to take advantage of what's in front of you, and you must compete. So you can complain about Tyrone and Chad and all you can complain about them, or you can become one. Because nature's not going to change just because you whining. Nature's not going to change because you got complaints about what the females choose. This females choose. Dude, their females are going to choose whatever. You know what I did? I don't give a fuck what they choose. I just become, I don't change who I am, but I just, I know what they like. I have made some adaptations, not a lot. And now I just set the trap and they come to me. So that you can understand mating better. These females are not really going to change all that much. Even when you provide the infrastructure and all of that, they're still not really going to change, because they are vessels. They are vessels from nature for incubation. They're not here to look at your integrity and look at your character. No, that's for the world. When it comes to these bitches, they are thinking from the lowest level possible, which is sex and mating. That's what these females, that's your relationship with these females, nothing else. That's it. And then you of course you make sure to nurture your seeds, right? But that comes naturally. As far as you and her, it's just purely sex. That's all you guys need each other for. And a lot of black men get this fucked up because we're looking towards women for we're looking for them to help us build them up, to build us up. We're looking to them to help us build. We're looking to the females to help us, get out here and compete. Shit that they're not supposed to do. They ain't supposed to be doing that shit. They're supposed to be getting fucked, breeding offspring, and taking care of the home environment. But us as black men, you're looking too deep into this shit. This is why I say I only spend 7% of my time with them, because what else are we gonna do? I have nothing in common with you, bitch. I'm not gonna talk about eyelashes, love and hip hop, any of that shit. I'm gonna give you this nut on your face, and I'm gonna keep going. You got what you wanted, I got what I wanted. But it's not that complicated, man, for real. Let me see something real quick. Before I forget. There we go. Rollo Show. Let me shout out Rollo Show super chat. $10 from Rollo Show. We said big ups to Ramil going in. Get him. Facts. Appreciate that, Rollo Show. Appreciate that a lot. Rollo Show always showing love. And y'all don't sleep on Rollo Show either, man. Like, he be having some very informative live streams, man. So shout out to Rollo Show. But yeah, man, when it comes to mating, these females they're literally living at the lowest level possible, because they're looking for, they don't care about your character, okay? They don't care about your integrity. And this goes to all races, man. It's time for us to stop thinking that other races of women, they know how to choose better. Not necessarily. I mean, they do, but they also have a whole infrastructure there to, to show them the way. Each race has their own infrastructure to show them the way. You know what I mean? So, they are living from the lowest level possible. They're looking for comfort and security. And that's just because that's how nature intended it to be. Women are not meant to be out here building infrastructure, meant to be competing. That's our job as men. And we have prioritized the mating aspect over the actual attaining the resource aspect, which is one of the reasons why we are so fucked up. But at the end of the day, women, they're just not that smart, and they're not meant to be. So stop looking towards them for you being saved. It's not going to happen. It's not. They are here to be fucked and breeded. That's it. They're not here to be your friends. You know what I'm saying? They're not here. Who does, outside of fucking, how often do the male lion and the female lion hang around each other? Rarely. They're off doing two different things. How often do the male and females? It's only a smaller number of species where the male and female just hang out with each other all goddamn day. I think it was one of them was like a stork or some shit, but for the most part, males and females don't hang out like that. We got two different agendas. And this is why this is now being exposed, because after the industrial age is over with, now you got this technology age where we don't need we don't need each other for survival. Now you're seeing the truth. Now you're seeing the truth. And a lot of you niggas that got your feelings hurt because technology has revealed the true nature, but nature's always been the same. It's always been the same, man. Like I said, in nature, character doesn't matter, man. This is why the drug dealers and even on the white level, the white collar criminals, the white criminal organizations, they get the baddest bitches too. Because at the end of the day, character and integrity don't matter when it comes to mating. She don't give a fuck about that. Don't no bitch give a fuck about morals or character or integrity. They give a fuck about one thing: security. That's it. They don't care where it comes from. They don't care how you get it. That's why they don't give a fuck about how your day was at work. They don't give a fuck about all the shit you go through and you're running your business every day. They don't give a goddamn. They care about one thing. Do you have those resources, nigga? That's it. And, there wouldn't really be no problem with that if we were living along the lines of nature as well. If everybody was doing their part, it wouldn't really be no problem with that, because they would be shutting the fuck up. Because as you can see, in nature, even though these females, how they are, they still behave themselves when provided with the resources and the land and the nesting. There'll be 5 or 6 of them fucking the same nigga. 5 or 6 of them fucking the same nigga. They don't care as long as they're being provided for. You know what I mean? This is why bitches don't mind being a side nigga. I mean, a side bitch to a nigga who got it. They don't. So once again, like I said, nature has all the answers, man. And black men, you got to understand the female for what she is. She is a fuck vessel, okay? Nothing more, nothing less. Stop looking to her to help you out this situation, man. It's your job.